I'm excited. We're back with the IBLV TV with the I Believe Dreamer. I'm Jermaine Henry. Welcome back. And we got the one and only, the man from the 807, T Bay. Honestly, I just personally, one of the top MCs in Thunder Bay, hands down. Like, that's for sure. So, welcome, Planbstrik9. What up, bro? How you feeling?
Good, bro.
I'm excited to talk about this because, bro, like, you're an incredible hip hop artist, but you also produce, you also fashion, you also do photography, video. Like, you're multi-talented. You know what I mean? So I want people to get to know a little more about you and even how you got started. Like, what did you start first on your creative journey?
It's gonna be like a little second. There we go. Okay, I can hear you through the car now. But my dad's a musician, so he's a bass player. He's been playing my whole life. Like, he's like been in and out of different groups. He was in like a top 10 Billboard band right before I was born. He's like a touring artist and shit.
I'll say word.
So yeah, it's always been a part of my shit. Like, I've been in bars and stuff my whole life, like helping him unpack and learning the rope. I was like his roadie since I was 5, very much. So it's been in my blood. But I just chose a different route. You know how kids do that, right? He hated hip hop, so it was kind of like, no matter what, I would have got into it because of the neighborhood I grew up in. But regardless, it just ended up being like another way to piss off my parents too. It's not just hip hop, but EDM, punk rock, all the different things I was getting into at the time. Fundamentally, were just to like push against the authority, not necessarily my parents, but authority in general. And yeah, man. So I chose my own route. My dad would want me to learn classical instrumentation, and I still don't know chord structure and stuff like that. I'm all self-taught, and like I do things from feeling and from the spirit of music. I try and like, you know, like I sit down at a keyboard and people are like, hey man, you must like, you know, have taken some. I'm like, no dude, I literally don't even know what I'm playing. I just know it sounds right, you know.
Word.
Like, it's weird. Yeah,
You just got an ear. So I guess, like, were you pretty like emotional kid, like growing up, like sensitive, like just kind of like in touch with feeling?
oh yeah, I was just touching on this the other day, like and I think that this is a thing for a lot of people, like cats like Robin Williams and people that are like outwardly really outgoing. People are like, oh man, that guy's got it together, like he's funny and he knows how to talk to people and shit. But internally, like, I've never felt like I was good at talking to people. And like, yeah, you know, like I don't know, like, it's, reiterate that again, story. Like, I got off topic, I think, but a little bit. But what was that?
No, but it's true though, like, because I think even for me, I struggle with that too. A lot of people can see me as like happy-go-lucky. They can see me like really social and out there, but I actually deal with a lot of social anxiety of like really, like, I have conversations with people and things before I even enter the room, before I even get a call, and all that kind of stuff. But it's a lot of times because I feel a lot of those energies. You know what I mean? I'm really sensitive. So my question was like, yeah, like, did you kind of grow up and like even notice that you're just like felt a lot? And then I guess, how did that translate into your music? Like, when did you kind of figure out you could put it into an outlet? You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. So like, I would say yes. Like, that's the conversation I was having, was that from a young age, like, I've always been, I wondered why other people weren't like worried about shit. Like, you know, I'd be sitting in class like like grade 3, and I'm like, why don't you guys care that they're like nuking the whales? You know what I mean? Like, just wild shit. Like, I felt the weight of the world, and I always have, and I've always felt like there's people that think regionally and there's people that think globally, and it's not intentional. It's not like I have like some fucking thing for world domination, or you know what I mean? It's just like, I feel like people need to think like that, and I honestly believe that might be the evolution of consciousness, and that we might be on the frontier of that, because like, ultimately, if we don't start thinking like that, we're gonna lose everything. Like, think of if an extraterrestrial came here tomorrow, they'd be like, you guys still fight each other? You know what I mean? Like yeah. This is wild. Like you're all, what are you doing? Yeah, it's just, you know, we need something external. And I was talking about this today, like all this division and all this bullshit. When you have something to build, like, you could be right wing, you could be left wing. When it comes down time to like build this house right here, that shit doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Word.
So you can like, yeah, like, and then through that process of building together, you find commonalities and you find similarities in each other's fucking ideologies, and you're like, okay, so this is what is positive, and you know, because even everyone who thinks they have the best intentions, like whatever, I think I'm doing a good job and I think I'm helping people. There's some bad part. Like I'm sure there's things that I'm fundamentally flawed in my thinking and ideology. You know,
that's real talk, because we have blind spots, right? Like we don't have the full perspective, like of things, exactly. And I think that's where differences are actually so important. It's important to have our differences because those differences allow us to see the whole picture. You know what I mean? And to me, differences isn't a bad thing. It's like, yo, our differences can help us to have a clear picture of what we need collectively. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's why I'm glad that we could even build. You know what I mean? Like I'm in Toronto, you know, in Greater Toronto area, and you're in Thunder Bay. We have different perspectives, but bring that together, and you know, the world is just a just tiny bit better. You know what I mean? And
yeah, and a little more connected.
And this actually brings me to the next question, actually, because yeah, like you're a creative, like hip hop, arts, all that kind of stuff, fashion, style. But I feel like you're speaking a lot to like maybe some motivations for like even Earthling Collective. You know, your Earthling Collective, because it seems like that's kind of some of the philosophy you're talking about is going into the Earthling Collective. Like, how are we taking care of the earth, you know, together?
Yeah. You know, it started out like creatives because that's my background, but that's the whole intention. It was with the name and everything else was just like, how can we, because I went to the United Nations and I really got to see all these different cultures and everything around me. And I'm from like a small place in the middle of nowhere, you know? So it was like a really eye-opening experience. I felt like I was like more cultured than other people around here and I'd seen things, but like getting there, I was like, yo, like I haven't seen anything, and there's a lot to see, and there's a lot of suffering, and there's a lot of beauty, and there's like so much connection, like just human connection there. Like there was people that didn't even speak the same language and were hugging it out and crying about things that, you know, because we could feel their plight, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yo,
so, yeah, it's just all about that.
I wonder if oh, say it again?
I'm ordering a burger real speed here. Hello, drive-through.
Yo, you're the best.
Hi, can I get a team burger combo?
Okay, with fries and a root beer.
With what do you guys have, like Fruitopia here?
No, sorry. We have Sprite.
Can I get like an apple juice?
Yep.
Nice.
And
yeah.
with that?
Yeah, it's a fries and sweet potato, or change them to sweet potato fries.
Okay.
And some onion rings too, please.
Okay, that'll be $20.40.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man, can't get that soda. I feel you. Need some juice, not the pop. I hear that.
Yeah, for sure. Did you know though, apple juice has more sugar in it than a can of pop? Like a
no
can
way.
Of apple. Yeah, man, I just found that out recently. It's crazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What are they doing to us, man? What are they doing to us? That's crazy. I actually had a question. The other question I had just on the culture piece, because you saying going to United Nations and feeling like, you know, people finding commonality. Did you find that you're able to connect with people more because you have multiple cultures? You have like a mixed background. Do you think that kind of helped to understand or relate to other people? You having that kind
sure it did. Like I'm sure it did, and I never thought about it at the time. You know what I mean? But I'm sure it did. I've actually been talking to Sarah about doing like a piece on that, because I'm in an Indigenous reporters program right now.
Yeah.
So I'm actually studying to do like we're gonna be doing placements and stuff, and I'm like working under some pretty amazing reporters and journalists. So I'm like learning a lot. And my first piece, I was like, let's write about the gray zone, man. Let's write about that, like being stuck between cultures and having to sit in rooms. That's okay. Having to sit in rooms full of like racist.
The other side, and I'll bring it out.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Like racist family members, and having to and they'll say things that they wouldn't say around other people because they like almost see you as like not whatever, you know what I mean? Like they don't see you, they just see you as family and they're comfortable around you, so they just say whatever. And I've been around that my whole life, and so is she. And it's just like, yeah, and what do you say? You know what I mean? Because it's like, do you because you try and educate them, and then you run into you open a whole other can of worms, and it's like you're fucking penalized for speaking up about things and told that it's like, oh, because especially if you're with the one side of family, it's like, okay, well, if you're embracing this culture, then you're like going against us kind of thing, you know? So it's like consistent battle within, and then in the community, it's almost the same thing. Like with growing up, like having like all the white kids couldn't come visit me, you know what I mean? Because their parents were like, whatever, he's indigenous. And then like,
Team
yes.
Fries and sorry, Team Fries?
Yeah, that's me. So that's not that. but yeah, and then like growing up down there.
Yeah.
There's so much going on with this. But yeah, and then the camera's catching it all. They just saw her walk out the shit from outside. This is gonna be hilarious.
So good.
But yeah, so oh man.
Have you done any creative pieces about, like, have you ever written a verse or poetry or anything about like kind of that conflict within yourself?
Yeah, I actually have. I've written a few things on the subject. Heritage, I have a song called Heritage that's out on YouTube that I won some awards for and got like flown across the country. It was actually played in this like old colonial theater, which was kind of ironic. It's like from the fucking 17th century, but it's a beautiful, like, there's like a $1 million chandelier in the middle, you know what I mean? It's like this wild old place in old Montreal or whatever it is. And that was an experience too. I'd never been anywhere like that before, man. Like it was like I love that city. Awesome. Thank you very much. You too. Take care.
Yo, like I'm not even so huge on like I don't care as much about like accomplishments and recognition, stuff like that. But you have a lot of accomplishments, bro. Like you've done a lot of shit. Like you really like on Billboard hits and you have songs with, I was actually just bumping your song with Crossroads, the song you have with Royce the 5'9".
It's ironic because now that I've parted ways with my label, I'm not really proud of that stuff anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's like I mean, I'm proud of the music and I'm proud of what I did with it and I'm proud of like earning those things, but I'm not, I guess I'm proud of what I did. I'm not proud of who I did it with now. You know what I mean?
Word.
It's like, and they're still profiting off this, man. I never saw a dime for that. Like the Billboard thing, there's the #1 record in Ghana right now. There's 50 million people in that country, and I haven't seen a dime. And you know what I mean? So like to get to that height, and it was #1 in 17 countries. It's #7 on the US chart right now. Again, like it's been on the charts like all year. And for that to happen, you have to move units. So I'm like, where is, you know what I mean? I never got one cent, man. So it's wild. And it's like, okay, we're paying you in clout, basically, right? Like the ability to say you did it. And that's the big thing with artists these days. Like you have to kind of bite the bullet and take all these opportunities for free because it's like an opportunity. But at the same time, you know, at the end of the day, like that doesn't pay my rent, that doesn't feed my kids.
Yo, real talk.
Like, yeah, man. Well, you gotta have good representation.
Word. Do you want to speak more on that? I guess being on label versus being on your own. Like
sure.
Yeah.
So like, they actually like do a lot in the sense that you don't have to worry about release schedules. You don't have to worry about like distribution or aggregation. You know what I mean? Like you just make music. And like you should be worrying about it though. That's the thing I found out in the end, was that I should have been paying attention to that stuff. And I knew that. I've been warned by, and I read the books, and I've been warned by all the people over the years that it's like you get taken advantage of as an artist because you don't know the business. And I should have been learning the business, and I learned enough. But even though I was learning and I'm in a position now that I can do it myself, at the time I was soaking it up, but I wasn't implementing it myself. And I was kind of playing dumb to make these people feel like they were smarter than me, because you know, you got to do that sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I don't know. I just went along with it, and I thought they had the best intention because we were like friends too, right? So or we're supposed to be friends. Like the guy lives in my city. It's wild. Like I don't understand his whole motivation. But yeah, so basically the difference would be like the ability to free up your time otherwise, because as an artist these days you have to do it all, right? So they freed up like half of that, but they didn't do enough. Like there was no merchandising, there was no tour like management, there was nothing other than releasing these songs onto those platforms specifically, because like I'm pretty sure like it's pay to play or like anywhere else, right? He just like is low level pay to play. Like the big guys pay for streams and shit. Yeah. And he just has access to like the lower levels of what that art. It really is like he was able to like pay to get in the iTunes thing, and then what that does is you don't pay to get on the chart, you pay to get on the front page, and then you like once you're on that page, it's gonna get clicked.
It's for the algorithm, like,
exactly, right? And then so once it's clicked on 1,000 times or whatever, and 1,000 people purchase it, then you're eligible for your spot on the billboard. So it's like, or not billboard, but whatever, the charts.
The charts.
That's what it was.
It's all a game for sure. Because even to get on playlists, you pay like $1,500 to get on a playlist, a good one, and you get up to like 100,000 streams. You know, just those placements.
And it's fucking funny because you don't make money. 100,000 streams is less than $1,500 back. So like, by a long shot.
Again, clout, right? Again, it's like clout. Yo, so I wonder, like, what are you up to now? Like, what can you tell the people to look out for, or like, what's the strategy that you have now to be able to like support yourself and also be able to like get your creativity out there, but to still be able to try to be like work towards sustainability?
I would say don't focus on numbers. These guys never really made me any money. Over like 7 years, I probably made a couple $1,000s off these people. Everything I did on my own. Workshops, fucking all my touring and everything I booked myself. Like CBC Searchlight, I applied for that myself. Like the awards, everything was me and my friends, man. Like doing it ourselves, grinding it out, putting in the work behind the scenes, filling out the applications. That's what it's all about ultimately. Building friendships over time, being nice to everybody.
Yeah, just being kind.
Yeah, yeah, for real, and meaning it. You know, like you can't, because they'll see through that shit too. You gotta walk that shit. And you don't have to always walk it. People have their times when you know what I mean? Like I've had moments where I've been a piece of shit still, like, I'm not perfect, man. And that's part of it, I think, is like especially these days, like everybody, like social media and shit, it's like you're expected to be a certain way, and people put forward this version of themselves that isn't even authentic, like at all. And I've run into this since being single, which is I'll put it in that context, but since being single, I've run into that a lot. So it's been like disheartening to say the least, because I wasn't paying attention to that as someone who was kind of like signed to a label, comfortable with my family, and you know, so I didn't pay attention to how fake this had all become. And people get the real deal with me with social media, and they don't think they do. That's the thing. Like everybody's like, you put on front, it's like, man, come hang out with me for a day. Like,
yo,
you know,
you're,
like
yeah,
like it's actually.
That's something I respect about you. I really respect that about you. Like you don't put up a front, you do your thing, and even also you keep yourself accountable. Of course, not in every area. We can't be accountable in every area. You know, everyone has the most integrity in everything, but I've seen you post videos of you literally having like, to give it a bat, like, I don't have the good term, but almost like a breakdown, and you actually just telling people to fuck off and shit like that. But then you posting and be like, yo, I was not in a good place. I'm struggling with PTSD. Things are going on. I apologize. And I think that's something to be, you know, have respect for. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be perfect.
Because this shit happens behind the scenes every day. And if anyone who says that they haven't had an outburst, they're lying. You know, if they've never lied to someone, they're lying. Like, it's like, and if people talk all this shit about mental health awareness and breaking the stigma, that's how you do it. It's not about talking about it. It's not about saying like, I'm here for you. It's about being there for someone when they're actually going through it, and allowing them to go through it in a public manner so that they can get help, because there really isn't enough help out there. And if I post something on Facebook and someone messages me and they have the right words for me, that does more than any counselor ever could. So it's like, yeah, man, put it in the universe. You never know what you're going to get back, good or bad.
Yo, that's real talk. Yeah, man. And honestly, I think for me, my perspective is you need multiple supports from different areas. You know what I mean? It could be Facebook, you have a therapist, you get like whatever works for you as the individual is what needs to, right? That's what matters, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yo, this has been the latest interview I probably ever done before. Like the one with Ivy was dope. That was like fly and good. But this joint right here is this is gonna be exciting to launch. I got one final question is anything to look out for like music or music videos, stuff like that. I know you are working on some stuff. Anything you want to share that you're working on?
I'm working on one right now, Idols. It's like totally different than the shit I normally do. It's like a pop punk joint. And I'm working on the video right now. I wasn't planning on doing a video, but we got the car mount. So I was like, let's play with it a little bit. And yeah, so lately I've been just like downloading shit off YouTube, like free beats, but you can't actually release them on an aggregator. So I'm just gonna give people free music for a while, man, because I just want to make music at a rapid pace, and I don't want to have to worry about paying people right now or even making them myself, which I produce most of my own beats, right? So it's mostly been that, but I love making beats, and I'll still do that, but I want to do it on my own time for my own enjoyment. And when it comes to like making, I want to focus on making music right now instead of like having to do it that way. I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah, dope. Yeah. Dope. All right, yo, y'all heard it first here on IBLV TV. And I guess quick plug for Earthling Collective. Anything to look out with Earthling Collective or?
Yeah, we got some workshops coming up like late April, early May through May to June, I'm thinking. And it's just gonna be like we're getting facilitators together now, but it's mostly gonna be like skill building demonstrations, because like the original intention of Earthling was kind of like hands-on, and it was more equipment oriented. So with COVID, we don't have access to a place where people can come collectively work together. So it's been hard to really implement something that's tangible for people. And yeah, so we're just gonna do like 1-hour demonstrations from different artists in the community and showcases, and we're gonna have some performances and stuff like that. And yeah, so just stay tuned for all that shit, man.
Yo, that's dope. Yeah, yo. You already know what it is. I'm Jermaine Henry. We out here. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow Plan B. Yo, what's your socials, Plan B?
Planbstrik9 across platforms at Planbstrik9. PLANBSTRIK9. Check me out on Clubhouse. Check me out on Snapchat. Check me out on Instagram, Twitter. I got it all, man. Let's link up. Let's make some music. Let's make some connections. Let's change the world.
Yo, real talk. Yo, honestly, you're a Thunder Bay legend. It is what it is. So I appreciate you, fam. And yo, thanks y'all for listening. Check out all the Behind the Dreamers. We out here. Peace.